From howdystranger.net, this is the Doc Ryder podcast. Under the Duvet with Doc Ryder. I don't know. The names don't really matter. Podcast is a bad word. I don't like it. Podcast. It's straight out of the 90s. I don't like the word podcast. It's super nerdy. Podcast, when they first came out, it didn't catch on. It had like a lag time, so it's bizarre. Bizarre medium. Anyway, we are on howdystranger.net. On the docs page, DOJ has asked to reform capital punishment. The immediate thing you see is the firing squad. I don't know if it's cruel and unusual. I think it may be more humane than these drugs they're using for lethal injection. Down at the bottom, the department should consider offering legislation to correct gaps and deficiencies in the authorization of capital punishment for the most heinous crimes, including domestic violence. There's some hidden things in here, but all that you hear in the news is the firing squad, which elicits a pretty robust response. You know, you hear it and you think it's draconian, you think it's anachronistic, it's old school, it's cruel and unusual. Perhaps it is. Hormuz, the daily crossings, according to Windward, 4 outbound, 1 inbound, 766 vessels in the Gulf, 34 vessels attacked. February 28th, the 7-day moving average was 103. Next day, March 1st, moving average 87. Most recent data is for April 19th. 7-day moving average is 12. Comments about the equity markets not reflecting this disruption in terms of the supply of fertilizer and gas and oil. And that's why this strait is so interesting, because it really does choke the whole entire economy. And so the equity markets, are they pricing it in? Because this is a slow burn. This is, I think you look at re-drilling wells and it's a 9-month time period to recover to like 85% of pre-war benchmarks. So this is something that people are thinking we haven't truly priced in. Billions in pandemic era fraud. This was CARES Act. All this money just went out the freaking door. New York Times was saying, no one disputes that hospice fraud in California is a problem. I mean, everyone disputed it. Going back to the Boston Globe regarding SNAP fraud, I think the Globe published an article that said fraud is not rampant and it's not borne out by our experience. Like, why is this such a political thing? I bet 90s Clinton would be super proud, which leads me to Cuban repression. Luis Manuel Otero Alcantara, he's an artist, and he's been in prison because he was just basically anti-authority and public disorder. These rules they make on the go, they're so arbitrary. If you're going to a No Kings protest, you have the right to go do that, and no one's complaining about you doing it. It's like, go ahead, have at it, First Amendment. But in other countries, you get shot or you get imprisoned. And this guy, Luis Manuel, it's so depressing to hear these people just languishing in prison because they had a political opinion. This HR 6293, this is the Housing Supply Expansion Act of 2025, updates the definition for manufactured housing. This was a big one because you couldn't get loans on non-permanent housing. So the changing of the language to have with or without a permanent chassis, that's opening up affordable housing. U.S. petroleum exports up 10% month over month. 10% month over month. We don't really depend on Hormuz. It's the rest of the world that does. And it's the third world in particular that depends on fertilizer. And as a result, we're recalibrating energy markets so that the United States is not only a net exporter, but now it's a major exporter, up 10%. Latest numbers, consumer sentiment down 6.5. They're saying inflation. CPI is 3.2. That's right. CPI came in hot. Zillow, when you list a house, how long it takes that house to change from pending status to for sale. 68, down from 73. in February. So Why We Age and Why We Don't Have to by David Sinclair, PhD. Lifespan, just another book on this theory of reversing aging and how you have these two genes. SPLC, I mean, X is blowing up with this. I told you everything was rigged. The SPLC paid informants engage in active promotion of racist groups at the same time that the SPLC was denouncing these same groups. X Energy was a recent IPO. Molten fluoride salt is better than water at cooling. Who would have thought? No transponder. This was LaGuardia. These responding vehicles weren't equipped with transponders. Calorie consumption, when you take snacks, compare them to vegetables and fruits, it's just no wonder we are an obese country because of processed food. I mean, you take calories, you compress them, you dehydrate them, and you make them snackable so that they're tasty, salty, sweet. You're going to consume more of them because that sensation of being full. It's good to see that the dietary guidelines now, realfood.gov, and it's kind of a slick website.